Hey, I'm Gloria Ann here with Wild Tech. So we wanted to share with you guys one of our new favorite recipes. So it's actually for venison backstrap bacon. So there's a few recipes on the internet right now, a few videos, but a lot of them use kind of like a pre-made kind of bacon spice kit that you would use, where you use like curing salt and different preservatives that actually, you know, the nitrates and nitrites I know we've all started reading about that can actually lead to cancer. So it kind of defeats the purpose of trying to eat organic and shoot your fresh grass-fed deer and then load it with preservatives and nitrates and nitrites that could in turn, you know, just be just as bad for you as, you know, the meat that you buy at the store. So I wanted to share with you guys our recipe that we've kind of tweaked over the past few months for this deer season. So this is about 5 pounds of venison backstraps. These are the past 2 deer that we've shot this year. So a lot of beautiful looking meat. So you do want to make sure you trim it of all the silver skin and any extra fat. So these are like real clean, you know, just beautiful pieces of meat here. So we cut them into half because usually the back straps are a little bit bigger. So we want them as uniform as possible because eventually we are going to smoke them and want them to cook evenly. So what we do, first you have to make your kind of rub mixture here. So it's more of like a paste, I'd say. So our ingredients are so about 1/2 cup of salt. We like to mix in some of the Himalayan pink salt. There's actually a lot of great minerals that are found in the pink salt. So it is about 1/2 cup. So we're increasing our salt for this recipe because we're not using the curing salt that a lot of the other recipes use. So 1/2 cup of salt's in here. We've got 1/4 cup of brown sugar. We have a tablespoon of organic honey, 1/4 cup of organic maple syrup. And then to balance that out, we have a little bit of cayenne. So depending on how spicy you like it, for this recipe we put a tablespoon in, but if you want it a little less spicy, you can maybe just do a teaspoon to start out, or you can be crazy and go all the way up to 2 tablespoons, but however spiced that you like. And then for a little extra flavor, we have some smoked paprika and a teaspoon of cumin seeds for a little more flavor there. So it makes kind of a paste type mixture here. So what we're gonna do is actually just coat these back straps in the paste, because it actually has to marinate for about 10 days in the fridge. So it's a little messy, you can use gloves, but hey, let's get dirty. So you wanna make sure you coat every single square inch here so you don't miss out on any flavor. Because we will be slicing this really thin, it's gonna end up looking more like Canadian bacon, like little medallions, but you wanna make sure every little piece has the good seasonings on it. And then we don't want to waste any of this good paste. I'm just gonna kind of throw it in there a little bit more so when we mix it all up, it'll have a little extra. All right, so now that the back straps are in the bag, we just want to try to get all the air out of it, seal it up, because this is going in the fridge for 10 days. And then every few days, or you know, even if it's just once during the process, day 5, just kind of flip it to kind of make sure everything is good and still coated, just to make sure. So you'll stick that in a nice dish so it doesn't leak into the fridge and let it sit. And then on day 10, we will be back to show you the next steps. Hey everyone, we're back. It's been 10 days, so finally our backstrap is ready. It's been marinating in the fridge for the past 10 days. I did flip it day 5, like we talked about, just to make sure everything was evenly dispersed. But now it is time to put it in an ice bath. So what this is doing is actually kind of removing some of the overly salt, like the salt flavor that's going to be on here. So unless you like it super salty, most people kind of want to let it ice bath for a little while. So about 30 minutes has kind of been the time we found that has worked really well, just to remove some of the extra salt, but still leave the good flavor. So in the meantime, what you can be doing is getting your smoker ready. All right, so smoker's ready. We recommend getting it up to 200. We smoke them for about an hour. We have cut all of these back straps as evenly as possible. I know it's not, you can't get them 100% perfect, but just so they can cook as evenly as possible for the timing. So we're gonna go ahead and get these on here. We recommend only cooking them to about medium rare to medium, so about internal temperature of 150 degrees, because you're actually gonna be frying this again because it is bacon, just a healthier version. So keep an eye on your smoker, your fire. You want to keep it about 200 degrees. And we're going to keep these on here for about 45 minutes, and I'm going to check the internal temperature because we want it somewhere between medium rare and medium, so about 150 degrees is where we want it. All right, we've got our back straps off the smoker. Internal temperature is 150 degrees, a little over medium rare, which is perfect. So we're letting these cool off a little while before we start slicing. So we love to slice ours as thin as possible, paper thin, just so it gets really crispy when you fry it up again. But you don't have to have a slicer. Back before we got a slicer, we would actually just get a really sharp knife and just try to cut it as thin as possible. And a tip is if you actually have it, like put it in the freezer for a little while to try to get more firm, it slices a lot easier for you. So you can also do that. But today we're going to use the slicer because we are actually able to adjust it for, you know, how thin we want it. So we want it pretty thin. So we've got it on a pretty low setting there. So of course you want to be very safe when you're slicing, but we'll get this going. We've got our freshly sliced bacon, so we're going to go ahead and fry some of this up for you so you can see how awesome this is. So what we've got here is just a lightly oiled pan, because as you notice there's not a single ounce of fat on this bacon. So this is not your typical bacon. This is your pure protein venison bacon. So it's like the healthiest version of bacon you could ever find, and the most delicious, so it's guilt-free eating. The only problem with it is there's never enough. So if you prefer them really crispy, I love to cook them low and slow when you have a lot of time, and that really gets them nice and crispy. But these look pretty good today. So go ahead and take these off. All right, our bacon's ready. So you can eat this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, really. That's what Ryan does, but this is probably one of the main reasons he gets out of bed in the morning for his venison bacon. But we'll give it a try. That's good. Even vegans would probably like this bacon. Make sure to subscribe to our channel so you can join us on our hunts to see where this venison came from and for more wild game recipes. Thank you guys so much.